locks. And I've got some anti-locks here. I just got in Michigan, specifically for this.
Can I hold it for you? Can I hold it on the table for you?
If you want to. Okay, so, and again, this is not something I'm an expert on, but when you do locks, you do the skin side in. Yeah, so this is the tips of the locks. I'm sorry if you can't see this. I'll move in a minute. You don't want to really pile it on too much. Okay, so you've got those in there. And you can see it's got a really lovely crimp. It's got a little bit of curl. So the way to go back and forth, left to right, I believe. See how the fiber starts getting separated. There's some floofy. You can take it up. You can switch this, put this here, and keep going. And then spin from that. Now, I've got examples of yarn that shows the locks intact, and that's a skill. It's not something I can do. But that's another way to use locks like this, or you can completely fluff them out like I was just showing, and spin them more smooth. Okay, what's next? All right, I'm going to pass around some examples of things you can mix in your using a blending board or hand cards. Here is examples. Here are examples, sorry. Of some short springy wool and some silk. Here's the silk. This is a silk sheet, something I had never seen until I was at Allegan not too long ago. And that's what that looks like. There's a chunk of that. Yes, I can use that. That's not what these are, but I do have some of those. You can spin those. You can, just from the hanky, you can blend them, get the same stuff. So this was the original wool, the brown. And then this is the yarn that came out of it, just a small skein like that. Here's the yarn made from the locks. I did not make that. Somebody from Maryville, I bought that at Yarn Con. Isn't that great? So you can spin
I like that.
Yeah, the locks are still intact with that, and that is very impressive to me.
Question?
Yes,
I'm a novice. What's a lock?
a lock is like a piece of your hair, like this. This is a lock. Yep. This is a lock. These are locks. Came off the sheep.
Oh,
That's a lock.
I got that.
Yep. And they're generally, well, they can be treated differently instead of just being thrown into a machine and completely, expanded. Or it's just because they're a little more special and they've got more, specific texture and a specific look. So sometimes people try to retain that look. Okay, and here is, I want to show you, okay, this is that is pretty exciting to me. This is that silk blanket. I had never seen this before. I know, what is this? I was like, I think I need some of that, man. So, I think this is like the silk hankies, except on a major scale.
I've never seen anything
Yeah,
that big.
I had to have it. So,
Where'd you get
I
that?
get this. I got this from. I don't think I can tell you. This is whenever you like.
If you tell me enough to kill me.
No. This came from the Miller girls. They're a vendor, and they're also on Facebook. She imports a lot of things. I've got cashmere I bought from her. I've got some other things to show you guys. But this I pulled off like a chunk of, and then passed it on. You guys were looking at it now. It's getting, it got dyed. So I thought, and then you can see there's, I don't know if that's from me or from them. There might still be the silk gum in there too. But I thought that was just fascinating and something I definitely wanted to incorporate in some yarn because I had never seen it before. And it dyed up wonderfully, as you can see. It's going around. Okay. Okay, so after the process of, let's put this back, there's the financial of the
This is a lifetime.
You think?
A lifetime.
I've got another piece too. I didn't buy all she had up there, but I ended up getting the rest of it anyway, so. But she offered it, say, hey, it's for sale. What do you have?
That wool and silk that you have going around there, you did that on a harder,
I did, and it was just a small strip like I just did up
and
here.
then you spend on that.
Yeah,
Are you going to show us that?
I'm sorry,
Are you going to show us that?
the yarn's coming around.
Yes. Okay.
Rich got it, Rich got it. Again, just a sample, just a small, I think I did that on my Nano or on my 6th, I'm not sure, but we'll get to that. Okay, okay, so, after the carder, it goes through a machine called, a pin grafter. And the pin grafter is another machine that will align the fibers even more. And I've got something I want to show you about. Here it is. Okay. I brought some pieces of this machine since there's really no equivalent for someone to do at home. It's a machine that aligns the fibers even more, and we generally do it 2 to 3 times to get it prepped for spinning. So the more you do that, the more aligned, the more smooth your yarn is. Now, the pin grafter has 2 sets of combs in like oval configurations, and they interact with each other. I can't do it with my hands. But they comb, they come around, they comb, they come around. I've brought 2 combs. I'm not passing these around because they are crazy sharp. These are what is in the machine. These are broken or bent. They do repair these. And there's, with the machines that we have, some of the pieces have to be recycled from other machines just because they don't make them anymore. So these are 2, you can see the combs are, the teeth are maybe a little bit shorter. This one has blue inside, and this one has orange inside where they're set in there. This was a fine tooth. This is a, obviously not fine tooth. So when we have to clean these pretty often, we get dumped up with just short hairs, they grease, and we use something called anti-static spray. So depending on the fiber and whatever, it will get So we have to crack the head and take all these out. And sometimes, unfortunately, they will break, and then we have to take the machine apart and replace